So this morning, my piece is titled, Kofi Adams is the man.
I see.
Kofi Adams is the man.
Okay.
Let me first start by greeting Mr. President. So good morning, Mr. President. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Thank you for naming your nominee for the Rechristened Sports and Recreation Ministry. I am grateful you didn't listen to those who were calling for a fire-for-fire, boot-for-boot minister. But instead, you chose a character who will command respect, have a listening ear, be fair and firm where necessary. As to how he will execute your vision, only time will tell. But we trust your judgment, Mr. President. We in the media will support any sports minister who leads the ministry in the best possible way with the mindset of developing and improving sports in Ghana. We are grateful to you, Mr. President. Now to your nominee, Mr. Kofi Adams. I am sure if he had stayed in the teaching field, he would have become a headmaster, possibly be playing a role high up the GES ladder, or could have acquired a doctorate and risen to professor status and be lecturing in one of our prestigious universities. A disciplinarian, a principled man, fair, firm but fair. These are the memories I have of Kofi Adams from my only encounter with him in the years 2002-2003 when he was my biology teacher at Adisado College. His switch to politics surprised me, but his rise in politics doesn't surprise me. Coming from the stable of the late former President Rawlings, you will know that he's been ingrained with values of probity, accountability, transparency, and zero tolerance for corruption. After all the scandals we have had at the sports ministry, this is the figurehead the ministry needs right this minute. In terms of his body of work in sports, one will argue that he has no knowledge of the industry he has to fix or he's expected to fix. That may be right. But did those who had foreknowledge of the ministry before assuming the role of sports minister make any strong case for, quote, give the sports ministry to those with sports background? No. Now, enter Kofi Adams with no connection to sports, no ties to stakeholders, no familiarity, coming in with a clean slate. In fact, he comes in tabula rasa. And in the mind of the president, the reset he wants must start on a clean sheet with Kofi Adams giving clear marching orders to execute the vision of the president. He has indeed proven at various levels of his work life that he is reliable and effective. Let me take this again. He has proven at various levels of his work life that he is reliable and effective. Mr. Kofi Adams, having served on the Public Accounts Committee of the 8th Parliament, is privy to the corruption that has engulfed ministries and agencies. Week in, week out, he has presided over meetings where jaw-dropping confessions of corrupt deeds have been brought to light. Many of the committee members, including he, Kofi Adams, act shocked at the revelations. I don't want to believe with all he has seen, with all he has heard, written reports on, read reports on, he's coming to preside over corruption or perceived corruption at the sports ministry. But for those who may not know Mr. Kofi Adams too well and think he's going to be a pushover or a yes man or a defender of the wrong at the ministry, let me disappoint you. Kofi Adams is no weakling. He is no softy. He is no pushover. Mr. Adams is a strong man. His late former boss didn't work with weak people. Kofi was one of the strong men he worked with. Just don't mess with Mr. Adams. Kofi Adams is a no-nonsense man. This is how I know Kofi Adams. But well, time will tell. To whom much is given, much is expected. Mr. Kofi Adams don't disappoint Ghanaians. Make the sports ministry and make sports the passion of the nation great again. Leave a great legacy you will be remembered for generations on. Congratulations to you, Mr. Kofi Adams, on your nomination, and we wish you well. Good morning, Mr. Adams.
Sport FM